Good morning, everyone. We are just starting soon. Stay online, please.
So, one and all, it's my pleasure to invite you, to welcome you to this meeting on fundamentals of entrepreneurship. I really, I'm glad that you people have taken a call to attend this meeting on, again, fundamentals of entrepreneurship. I'm Professor Shashi Singh. I'm the director of School of Biosciences and Bioengineering, and also the Dean of Research and Development at DYPIU International University. It's uh, it's a pleasure that we are planning to have this meeting on or a webinar on entrepreneurship. We will be covering various aspects from basics to legal aspects, from what do you say, basics again, to modern technologies, how they impact running a business and how they help us in running a successful enterprise. Your zeal, looking at the number of registrations which we got, is very encouraging for us, and I hope equally large number of people join our meeting or view it on the YouTube, because it's being streamed parallelly. Any Let's talk a little bit about introducing this seminar. Any economy flourishes if we employ, if we empower, and we allow enterprises to set up their uh, franchises and what do you say, develop some kind of businesses. You must be hearing a lot about the current economic situation, where we have been hearing that the unemployment rate is very high and people don't have jobs in hands, which currently, as the statistics show, stands at about 7 to 8%. So this is another reason that we should get into thinking about how we can set up small things to rather employ people than seeking jobs after education. And that has been the motto of our university also, that you invest your thought, energy also in setting up small setups where you can give chance to other people to be employed with you. In fact, you are not only being self-sufficient for yourself, you are being able to uh, help others take up a job, those who are unable to think of, or not everybody can think of businesses, of course. But whether you start from scratch, whether you get into your family businesses, or you take up, I mean, you have various ways to do business. You could think of your own innovation and start a small startup, or you could be bringing services to the to the common man, like you have these aggregator services these days. So it could be anything, but we have to be very sure about what we want to start and how do we go about it. Whatever we study normally as a graduate or a postgraduate doesn't teach us these basic aspects of entrepreneurship. The motto at this university has been that we encourage even that aspect for students who want to take up career, who want to actually make their own career and help others in building their careers. So we are trying to touch upon market analysis, financials, legalities, and various other things which are related to starting a small business or in whatever way you want to start an enterprise. So, with these few words, I also join you as a learner and welcome you to be my batchmates. Thank you all for joining this meeting. Over to Khushbu.
Thank you, ma'am. Um it's an honor actually to welcome the first speaker of ours today, uh, Mr. Satish Kumar. He's working as Assistant Director to Government of India, presently posted at Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises that we know as MSME. He's dealing with IPR initiatives for MSMEs for past more than 6 years, and he has overall experience of 13 years, I mean more than 13 years actually, working with various ministries, government departments in implementation of government support schemes and programs. He has played key responsibilities in drafting and implementation of intellectual property rights and innovation support policies for MSMEs and other MSME schemes and projects. Mr. Satish has also delivered a lot of sessions on IPRs and government initiatives to industry associations, universities, startups, DFOs, and have provided advisory and consultancies to various stakeholders, including us today. And we are really fortunate to have you, Satish sir, and guide us with your insights and experiences. Over to you, Satish sir.
Thank you, Kushbu madam. I hope I am audible to everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Kushbu madam, for this wide introduction of mine. And I just congratulate the all team of DYPIU University that the kind of topic you have chosen about entrepreneurship. Uh, in MSME also, we have mandated to promote entrepreneurship among these aspiring, becoming entrepreneurs. Uh, so we have few programs which we are running in ministry, and through these program and initiatives, we are helping throughout the journey of an entrepreneur. I just share one thing. Okay. Do I have a screen sharing right?
Yes, you do, sir.
Okay, the entire screen. So, so in MSME, we have a various program through which we are supporting. So in today's presentation, I will give you some insight about what are the schemes and funding opportunities available from Ministry of MSME as well as some other ministries also. So, which they can help you when you're starting your journey of entrepreneurship. It can help you like how you can arrange the source of funding, how you can get some kind of technology support, how you can market your products or services in a better manner. So we have few programs, but before going to these programs, it's very important that any enterprise, any entity who are starting their business or already having established business, they should be recognized with the government of India. Then only they will be able to take all these benefits available to them. It's if you see like around the 6 crore approx SMEs are in India. But if you see the registration part, only around we just cross 1 crore SMEs, MSMEs being registered with the Ministry of MSME. So the benefits are only available to those MSMEs or those industries who have been registered with the government of India. So the registration part is very much important. And if you see, last 2 year back only, 2 year back only, we had just uh, revised the definition of MSME. Earlier, we used to have MSMEs based on manufacturing based enterprises and service based enterprises. Now we have come up with a composite criteria of defining MSMEs based on their investment, plant and machinery, and their annual turnover. So these are the basic two aspects which being considered for the registration of the MSME. And we have a three classification of the MSME based on their different limits, different ceiling limits of in plant and machinery and oblique equipments and their annual turnover. So if you are a manufacturing based enterprises, you might have invested in buying some machinery. If you are a service based enterprises, definitely you might be having some kind of equipment, some kind of computer networking system. So equipments are also there, and their annual turnover. There are basically two criteria defining these micro, small, and medium enterprises in India. So any enterprise who is having their annual turnover less than 250 crore, and their investment plant and machine is not more than 50 crore, they all are covered under this new definition of MSME, micro, small, and medium enterprises. So all these entities who are having covered under this definition, when they want to register their enterprise with Government of India, they can visit this portal, that is the udyamregistration.gov.in. This is a very important portal for your MSME registration to take all those benefit available from Government of India. So this registration is completely free of cost and doesn't require any kind of document to be uploaded. Only your Aadhaar number is good enough for this registration. It's completely based on self declaration, like whatever your information giving to the government, it has been taken. They will not counter asking how this information or asking for the documents. So this portal is very important. There you can register your MSME. So then this kind of certificate will be provided by the Government of India. This is the certificate called Udyam Registration Certificate. And with this certificate, whenever you are taking any benefit and you want to apply for some benefits, you can give the copy of this Udyam Registration Certificate, and then you will be eligible. Then you will be eligible to take all these benefits. So these benefits will be available to only when you have a MSME registration certificate. Then there are few benefits of MSME registration. Excuse me, just 1 second. There are a few benefits of the MSME registration. Number one, there are has been reserved 25% of central government has been reserved for the micro and small enterprises only. So whether it's an autonomous body under any central government, any ministries, department, PSUs, CPSUs of Government of India, they are compulsory required to buy 25% of their purchase from the micro and small enterprises. So this has been reserved. And when MSMEs are participating in any in a government tenders, so generally there is some tender cost, there is some earnest money deposit. But in case of MSME, those are having this MSME registration certificate, they are not required to pay any tender money, tender cost. They are not required to any pay any earnest money deposit with the when they participating in the government tender. Another important aspect, like the price code will be the L1 plus 15%. That means generally when you are participating in a tender, the tender is awarded to the person who has quoted the lowest bid, who has given the lowest amount of the project. But in case of MSME, there is a 15% additional bracket. Like if you are not the lowest one, but within this 15%, again the opportunity is given to the MSMEs to supply those goods, supply those items. 358 items has been reserved for the MSMEs, and there is a protection against the delay payment. That means MSMEs are protected against the through the delay payments. Uh, like as per this MSME policy, that policy says if an MSME supply their goods within the 45 days of time from the date of supply their goods, they should receive their payments. So they are also protected against any kind of defaults, any kind of delay in making payment to the MSMEs. So they should receive as per this act within the 45 days of time their money. So this is about MSME. Another important when you're starting your business, maybe some kind of new idea you have, and you want to exploit your ideas based on the new kind of solutions, new kind of products, services you're providing, required by the society, required by the people. Uh, but generally when you are starting something new, you believe that you are in startup, but as per when you're going for the registration, going for the recognition with the government, there are basically few criteria which needs to be satisfied. Number one, the startup period as per this definition, you can enjoy only for the 10 years. So from the period of existence, and operation should not be exceeding 10 years from the date of incorporation of the company. So when you incorporate your company, when you get your registration certificate from the registrar of the company, from that date, the maximum period of the startup would be 10 years. So this is the first condition. Second condition is that the annual turnover, the entity, the enterprise annual turnover should not be exceeding 100 crore in any of the financial year from its date of incorporation. So when you start your company, from that date, any of the financial year, your turnover should not be exceeding 100 crore. If it's exceeding 100 crore, you cannot enjoy the status of the startup. Then also startup should have some kind of innovation. That innovation, whether it's a product, process, services, should have a potential to create a scalable business models. Okay. So you're required to submit and write up that how the innovation involved in your idea, in a kind of service, kind of product you have, and based on that, the Startup India Hub will provide you a certificate. That is your startup certificate. So this is a basically a portal that is a startupindia.go.in. There you can submit your application for the startup, and once you submit, if you are satisfying that criteria, they will provide you the copy. They will provide you the startup certificate, and which can provide this copy of startup certificate when you are seeking, when you're taking benefit provided to the recognized startups. So there are a few benefits of the startup, like they have been exempted for the income tax for the first 3 years. Also, they have exempted from a long-term income tax. Sorry, long-term capital gain tax. They've been exempted. There's an easy exit policy from the bank, like the startup get failed within the 90 days of time. Again, without getting so much liabilities, they can exit from the market. There's an incubation support also available, like various ministries and the departments are giving. They have set up this incubation center, and this incubation center are providing kind of space, kind of mentoring, kind of uh, kind of support to development of the proof of concept and the prototypes. So lots of incubation support is also available to the recognized startups. uh, Few IP support is available to the startups and MSME, or any person who is having some idea and who want to start their own business. The protecting their intellectual creation is very important part, and whatever they have created, whatever the new idea, new concept they have, it should be protected somewhere. That's why then only they will be able to create some kind of niche segment of the market for themselves. Otherwise, it is there is always chances that it get copied, and they are not able to get that actual benefit that can be recognized. So in IP aspects, Ministry of MSME has set up IP facilitation center. These IP facilitation center are the nodal point of contact to cater all IP need of the industries, SMEs, and startups, or even education institutions are coming to us for their IP need. uh, these IP facilitation center are a single point of contact. Like you require any kind of consultation, any kind of advisory, any kind of IP filing support. So different kind of services being provided through this IP facilitation center. If we see the three stages of the IP protection stage, like in pre-protection stage, these IP FCs are providing IP searches, private searches, novelty searches. They are giving the guidance of what are the technologies available, what are kind of similar kind of technologies available, and how they can improve their technologies based on the research and searches available in that domain. So here also these centers are very important. Apart from that, there is a IP filing support. So if after that in second stage, if they want to file some kind of patent, trademark, GI, copyright design, through these IPFCs, they can file these IPs. Also, post protection stage, they can taking the issues of the infringement, opposition suit, providing IP advisory, renewal of the application. They are attending the hearing on the behalf of the client. So in a post protection stage, also this IPF is a complete package of to catering all IP need of the industry. Apart from that, Ministry of MSMEs also gives financial support for registration of the IP. So if any Indian patent being granted to an MSME, 1 lakh rupees granted support is available to the MSME unit enterprise. If they are filing any foreign patent, for foreign patent, 5 lakh rupees is available in the form of granted. Then for the GI registration, 2 lakh rupees is available. For trademark registration, 10,000 rupees per trademark is available. And design part is not here, but this year we have also started design registration support. For design registration, 15,000 rupees per design is available. So anybody who is looking for this financial support, they can visit this website, that is my.msme.gov.in. Alternative, they can visit another website, that is the innovative.msme.gov.in. On that website, they can submit their application for this financial support available to the MSMEs. The IP office also giving some kind of rebates to the individual innovators, startups, and MSMEs, like 80% in a government fees being 80% rebate being given for the government patent filing fees. So, like if you can see this, 8,800 is the physically filing of the patent application. 8,000 is for the online filing of the patent application. But if you are a startup, if you are an MSME, if you are from the you are an academic institution or an individual innovator, 17,000 1,500 rupees required for physical filing of application, and 1,600 rupees required only for the online filing of the application. So this is the 80% rebate in the patent filing. Similarly, for the industrial design filing, 4,000 is the original fees, but for the startup, for the MSMEs, for the individual innovators, it's just 1,000 rupees. Now, then trademark filing, there is a 50% rebate to the SMEs, to the individual and startups. Like if you can see the 10,000, 9,000 is the original fees, but for the individual person, startup, and MSME, 5,000 rupees is offline filing of the trademark application, and 4,500 rupees required for online filing of the trademark application. There's another scheme, that is a SIPP scheme of DPIT. Under that scheme, they had panel various IP attorneys, and these IP attorneys is supposed to provide a free professional fees for patent, trademark, design filing, like respective filing. They are providing free of cost professional services to the startups. So any startup who has been registered with the DPIT or having this a startup registration certificate, they can approach these panel attorneys, and with the help of these panel attorneys, they can file their patent, trademark, design free of cost. So now question arises, how you can find out where these IP attorneys are available. So you require to visit this website, that is a startupindia.gov.in. On that website, you can search for the list for the facilitator for the patent, as well as trademark and design. And by searching these panel attorneys, you can file your respective IP. This is a TIS program. This is a United Nations World Intellectual Property Organizations program, and this WIPO, United Nations WIPO, is also having the mandate uh, to support the developing nations in terms of for their IP need and creating kind of IP ecosystem in those developing countries. So these WIPO also setting up this technology and innovation support center across various developing countries. In India, they have set up around approx 9 centers are there, and these centers are also having the similar kind of mandate to support IPs from the industries, academia, and as well as different kind of startups. So they can approach also similar like the IPFC. They can approach to the TIS centers also for their IP need. This is scheme the SIP EIT support for international patent protection. International patent protection. So under this scheme, any patent related to information and communication technology that can be reimbursed maximum up to 15 lakh rupees per invention, or 50% expense incurred on the filing of the patent application. So any technology being developed related to the information and communication technology, 50 lakh rupees maximum support is available per invention from the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Mighty is there, and from Mighty side, this 50 lakh support is available for this such kind of patent. Uh, TIFAC is also, having this PFC program patent facilitation center, and for that they had set up various facilitation center like PICs. The Patent Information Center is there in various state council of science and technology. Every state is having their state council and science and technology, and there they have set up these PICs, and the PICs are mandated to facilitate this IP support to the universities, academic institutions, startup, as well as MSME. DRDO is also initiated to promote defense-related industries, and in that program, uh, they have given a free license, uh, to the industry who are interested in setting up this, you know, this patent-based industries. In the defense sector. So, like as you're aware that DRDO is a is our research wing, main research wing in the Ministry of Defense, and they have given free access to these patents, and they are not charging any licensing fees, any kind of royalties payment, and they have given free of cost access to this patent so that defense-related industries can be promoted. More such kind of industries can be set up, as our prime minister has a vision to become self-reliant, and defense is one of the sector where we are so much dependent on rest of the world for our defense-related needs. Also, Ministry of Defense is also setting up IP facilitation center, and these centers are similar way. The MSME IPFC, these are providing similar kind of services, so that all IP need can be fulfilled from these uh, DRDO, Ministry of Defense IPFCs too. Uh, Another this BIRAC program, basically they are also empaneling various technical institution to provide IP and technology management support to the SMEs, startup, and academia, and mostly related to the biotech industry. So these are also empaneling various technical institutions who are providing this IP support to the startup, MSME, as well as academic institutions to cater their IP need. This is called Cell for IPR Promotion and Management. This is basically initiative of DPIT, and as you know that in 2016 we got our first national IP policy, and this IP policy is having seven identified objective, and to fulfill this objective, this CPAM, this is basically a professional body has been created under the aegis of DPIT to fulfill this mandate of national IP policy. So these CPAM is providing all kind of technical support to the academic institution, enforcement agencies, industries, chambers, individual innovators to providing all kind of technical support in terms of their IP for their to cater their IP need. So they're working with these enforcement agencies, judges, police people, and helping the universities also in terms of their setting up their IPR cell, and making their IP policy, university IP policies. So they in that way they are helping. So anybody can approach them in terms of they require any kind of IP technical IP support. Uh, this next segment of the presentation is about funding schemes for the startups and MSMEs. So anybody major aspect, major thrust is always on when you start your business is on how you arrange the funding. So in this segment, I will I will just let you know that what are the funding support is available from Government of India if you want to start your own business. One of the scheme is a basically a incubation program of Ministry of MSME. Under this program, what we are doing, we are empaneling various host institute. These host institute are basically engineering colleges, R&D institutions who are having some kind of R&D setup, and these host institute is having the mandate to nurture the ideas coming from their faculties, from their students, and anybody out industries or individual outside their college. So their major job to is a kind of incubation support to these kind of startups. So, Ministry of MSME implementing this scheme with various by organizing various MSME idea hackathon. Every year we organize various MSME idea hackathon, and students, faculty members, individuals, and MSME industry people are also participating in this kind of MSME idea hackathon. At present, we are running one of the MSME idea hackathon, and this MSME idea hackathon theme is women's. So all the women's can submit these idea on this hackathon, and if their idea get approved, they will be eligible for the financial support of rupees up to 50 lakh for development of proof of concept and prototype. So for this prototype development, 50 lakh rupees is available from Ministry of MSME side for the ideas submitted through this MSME idea hackathon organized by Ministry of MSME. So it's completely online process. Anybody like now, if you can visit our portal, that is innovative.msme.gov.in. There you can click on the link, and you can submit your idea and choose particular host institute. And if idea got selected, the 50 lakh rupees is available. Another part, like host institute, they required some kind of financial assistance for this development and nurturing of this idea, and they required some kind of plant and machinery support. And for that, if the two ideas got approved for a particular host institute, they are eligible for this plant and machinery support, that is up to 1 crore rupees. So 1 crore rupees is available in the form of plant and machine support that will be given to the host institute who are supporting these supporting and nurturing these ideas. So this is another part of the scheme. Then, if some of the idea which are having a very good, aspects, very good for the commercialization, they can be converted into the actual products and marketed. So such kind of ideas are also eligible. Like not all ideas, but a few ideas which have been selected by the ministries can have the grantedness can have in a seed capital support up to rupees 1 crore rupees. So up to 1 crore rupees in the form of seed capital support will also given to set up these enterprises for this from this prototype ideas. We have a design intervention support also, like industry when you are starting your entrepreneurship journey. When you develop a product, design is very important aspect. The particular shape, your product, how your product looks, it can be completely a game changer. So maybe technically your product is very sound, but aesthetically is lacking that is actual appealing to the consumer. That could be a maybe uh, can create a big market potential with a particular design. So, to considering the design is very important aspects. Ministry of MSME is having this design component under this MSME innovative program. Under this program, for the design intervention, we have a two kind of components. One is a professional design project. Under this professional design project, up to 40 lakh rupees will be given in the grantee net support for the development of the design, where the 75% subsidy is available to the micro enterprises and 60% for the small and medium enterprises. So this is for the development of the professional design project. Another support is for the student design project. Generally, students are also coming to us and they are saying like they can solve particular design problem of their nearby industry. So in the university campus, there are some industries, and they feel like they can provide some kind of design support to that industry. So here, when the students are developing these kind of design, 2.5 lakh rupees is available for a student design project, and that is a government of India contribution. If any cost exceeding from this limit, that will be bear by the MSME enterprise where the design is going to be implemented. So this is also very important scheme, that is a design support. And this scheme is implemented through these various implementing agencies. Mainly these implementing agencies are ISC Bangalore, National Institute of Design, IITs, NITs are majorly are implementing agencies. Another program is Srijan TIFAC program. Under this Srijan TIFAC program, uh, Srijan TIFAC program, SIDB as well as TIFAC has created a corpus of fund, and this corpus of fund is called a revolving technology innovation fund. With that fund, they are supporting any ideas for development of these ideas, demonstration, and commercialization. Really, like from prototype development to commercialization, they are giving support to the startup, MSMEs, or any individual who is interested to start their own business. And this scheme is covering a project cost up to 2 crore. So up to 2 crore project cost you can submit under this region TIFAC program. So those are interested in this program, they can submit their proposal either to the TIFAC website or to the SIDBI website. Both on the both website, the application is available. So you can submit your proposal to the TIFAC or either SIDBI or TIFAC. This program is a Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. Under this program, any person who want to start their entrepreneurship journey, who want to start, he's having some ideas and start their own business and are looking for some kind of funding support. So this scheme is covering uh, basically objective of the scheme is to create employment opportunities by creating these self-employment opportunities. So this scheme is covering 50 lakh rupees for these manufacturing based enterprises and 20 lakh rupees for these service based enterprises. So that is the project cost covered in this scheme, and government of India is giving subsidies over this project cost. So if the applicant is a general category applicant and from the urban area, he or she will be eligible for 15% subsidies on their total project cost, approved project cost. If the general category applicant from the rural area, he or she will be eligible for 25% subsidy on their total project cost. Then there is a special category. Special category means the person from the SC, ST, OBC category, minorities, women applicant, ex-servicemen, physically handicapped people, NER, northeastern people from the northeastern region, people from the hilly areas and the border areas, they will be eligible for 10% additional subsidies. That means if the special category applicant coming from the urban area, they will be receiving 25% subsidies, and if they are coming from the rural area, they will be receiving 35% subsidies on their total project cost. So any person who is 18 years and above, they can apply on this portal, that is the kviconline.gov.in. That is the portal where you can submit your application. And so this is the first part when you're starting a new business. So suppose successfully you run your business for the 3 years, and again uh, you are getting a good amount of orders, and now you want to scale up. So again for the scale up, there is a second dose of assistance available of 1 crore rupees for the existing and better performing these PMGP and Mudra units. So again, there is a subsidies amount is available on this second dose of assistance, that is the 15% and 20% based on the category of the applicant. You will get this amount of subsidies on the second dose of assistance. Another important scheme is that is the Startup India Seed Fund scheme. Under the scheme, this scheme is also providing financial assistance for the startup for development of proof of concept, prototype development, doing product trial, market testing, and going for the commercialization, actually making the product and scaling up. So this scheme is runs through these eligible incubator, like they empanel various incubator, and this incubator job is to disburse this money to startups. So what the startup is getting? That 20 lakh rupees is available in the form of grant to the startup for development of proof of concept and prototype development, doing some product trials. So like in trying trial period development of the prototype, 20 lakh rupees is available to the startup in the form of grant that will be disbursed to some eligible incubator they have chosen. Then this is the first part. Another part is 50 lakh rupees. 50 lakh rupees will be given for of investment for the market entry and commercialization, and that will be given in the direct link instrument. That means this is in the form of loan. That means you have to repay this amount. So this loan period will be 5 years, and 12-month moratorium period will be given to the startup under the Startup India Seed Fund scheme. So, what is the eligibility for the startup? The startup should be recognized by the government of India, and I have already, tell you in my beginning slide that how you can recognize if you are satisfying those conditions. The startup should not have taken more than 10 lakh rupees under any of the central or state government scheme. They should have, if they are like in a partnership form, 51% shareholding in the name of the Indian promoter of the company, and this will be the one-time support. So these are the conditions in terms of eligibility to the startup, like how if they are registered with the DPIT, then only they can apply under the Startup India Seed Fund scheme. So those are looking for these benefits, they can visit this website, that is a startupindia.gov.in. On that website, they can submit their application. They can choose incubator and apply for the disbursement of this amount for development a prototype as well as going for the commercialization. Another important scheme is the CGT MSE program. Uh, this is basically a credit guaranteed fund trust for the micro and small enterprises, and the trust has been developed jointly by the SEDB and the Ministry of MSME. And under this scheme, basically, credit guarantee given to the individual who are applying to the banks for the loan. So when you're going to the bank, generally banks are asking for collateral, and collateral is not free, and you require to bring something as a mortgage as a collateral before the bank for availing this loan facility. Under this scheme, the government become your guarantor, and the amount being easily disbursed by the banks under this because of the collateral part being covered by the government of India. So this scheme is covering collateral free loan up to rupees 5 crore. I'm sorry, in the screen is the 2 crore, but now the recently limit has been increases. So the now the collateral free loan up to rupees a limit of 5 crore is there, and any new enterprises or the existing micro and small enterprises are eligible to apply under the scheme. And this scheme is runs to the bank, so the person can approach to the bank for availing this loan under this CGT MSME program. This is a Mudra Yojana. Mudra Yojana has been very famous, and most of the people are knowing about this scheme. This scheme is covering basically tiny loans to micro enterprises to set up some kind of tiny or micro enterprises. This scheme is very useful. And this scheme is having a three kind of product, like loan amount up to rupees 50,000, which is basically Shishu scheme. Then 50,000 to 5 lakh is basically covered under Kishore scheme, and Tarun scheme is covering 5 lakh to 10 lakh rupees. So maximum amount under this scheme is a 10 lakh. Any bank can be approached to avail loan under the Mudra Yojana, and this loan being disbursed under through the banks only. Another scheme is a Stand Up India scheme. After Startup India, the government of India started Stand Up India also, and this Stand Up India scheme is very useful for the SC/ST based entrepreneurs and women entrepreneurs. So under this scheme, the government of India has given a target to each branch of the bank to facilitate at least one loan to the SC or ST tribe, SC or ST borrowers, and at least one women borrower per bank branch for setting up the enterprises. So every branch has been given this target to facilitate loans to the SCSC applicants and women applicants. And this scheme is covering total collateral free loan up to 1 crore rupees, and that is standard India scheme. Another thing people ask, like, what in case of there is a partnership firm. In case of partnership firm, at least 51% shareholding this should be in the name of ST promoter or the women promoter of the company. So this scheme is also runs through the banks. Any branch of the banks can be approached for the Stand Up India loan. This 2% instant subvention scheme is being launched to promote GST registration. Under the scheme, the 2% interest relief is given on the outstanding balance with the bank on their loan amount. So this 2% interest relief has been given under this interest subvention scheme. This scheme is also runs through the banks only. These were the some funding opportunities available to the startup, MSME, or anybody who want to start their own business. A few more schemes are there which are covering the different entrepreneurship aspect. Uh, so we in a MSME we are running one program, this called Entrepreneurship and Skill Development Program, ESDP program. And under the program we have a we are running various activities to promote entrepreneurship among the students and Indian youth. We are running one lots of program. First program is called Industrial Motivational Campaign. This is called IMC. This is a small scale program, generally 1 or 2 days activities, and done with the 50 to 100 people. And with that, where we with a guide them how they can start their own business, how what is the requirement, how they can manage, and what are the areas where they can go and start their entrepreneurship journey. Another program is a entrepreneurship awareness program, EAP program. This is a basically 2 week activities where we give some skills to the people so that they can start their own entrepreneurship journey. Apart from that, we have an entrepreneurship skill development program, ESDP program. This is basically a 6 week activities where also we giving some kind of entrepreneurship development program, some kind of program which can create some kind of livelihood to the people who are joining this kind of program. Generally, we are also targeting rural areas or the backward areas where we can create such kind of self employment opportunities. So this is also there. Then we have a management development program, MDP program, where we are organizing events and we are uh, developing some kind of capacity development program to the individual so that they can get some kind of entrepreneurship motivation. So any youth in a different section of society can join this kind of program and get learn with this program and start their entrepreneurship journey. So these programs are available on our website where you can find out what are the programs are going on, and if it is of your area of interest, you can join this kind of program. Another scheme is basically procurement and marketing support program, and this program is basically catering marketing need of the entrepreneurs. So basically, when these micro, small, and medium enterprises, when they are participating in some trade fairs and exhibition to get good kind of exposure of their products, they will get some kind of subsidies under this program. So when and MSME is participating in any kind of domestic trade fairs, exhibition, we are giving subsidies on their stall cost. So 1.5 lakh is rupees will be given. Is a maximum up to 1 lakh rupees. 5 lakh is available if the exhibition is happening in a class city. If exhibition in the B class city, then 1 lakh rupees is available, and if it is in a other cities and hilly areas, the 80,000 rupees is the maximum subsidies available. So this will be done on the actual expenses basis. So either this amount or the actual expenses, whichever is less, this will be reimbursed to the enterprises. Then also we are organizing this kind of trade fairs and exhibitions at a national international level, and for that regional and national level, 30 lakh rupees is available for organizing this kind of exhibition event, and 40 lakh rupees available for organizing this kind of international event. So this is one second. Let me chip in here. Okay. So apart from that, also we are giving a packaging support, and for the packaging support for the ordinary packaging, 1.1 lakh rupees is available, and 1.5 lakh rupees is available for the green packaging. Then development of the marketing hearts. So any kind of development of marketing hearts, submitted by some kind of chambers and association. 20 lakh rupees will be given in the form of grant in net support for the renovation of the existing heart, marketing heart, and 50 lakh rupees for the development of the new marketing heart. So this is also available under the marketing support to the enterprises. So this is the scheme, and those are interested. These schemes are runs through these DFOs, NSICs, KVICs, basically all these field and operation organization under the Ministry of MSME. These are the implementation partner, and they are organizing these kind of events under this procurement and marketing support program. This is a Spooty scheme basically, which is supporting these, giving the cluster and a common facility support to the artistic industries. Any kind of traditional and artistic industries we have, they can get some kind of common facility support under this scheme. So this scheme is, if suppose artisan are more than 500 and they come together, and some kind of SPV will form, and for this more than 500 artisan, 5 crore rupees is available. The granted support for forming the clusters. If they are less than 500, 2.5 crore rupees for setting up the cluster is available under this scheme for fund for regeneration of traditional industries. So this scheme is basically providing the common facilities to the traditional industry, like traditional craft and art based industries only. So generally, NGOs and government and other non-government organizations are also there. Those are basically implementing agencies and running this program under this Spooty scheme. Another similar kind of activities program we have, that is a micro and small enterprises cluster development program, and under this program, uh, we are setting up the CFCs, Common Facilitation Center, under Spooty, that was meant for the traditional industries. Here, this common facilities will be for full-fledged manufacturing industries. So here, the 20 crore rupees granted and given for forming such kind of common facilities, and if it is done through the partnership with the state government. So state government is generally providing the land and these things, and they are also bearing some part of the project cost. And the maximum granting and available from government of India side is 20 crore rupees. Then for the ID project, infrastructure development project, 15 crore rupees is available for flatted factory complex, and for setting up the industrial states is a 10 crore rupees. It will be granted support is available from government of India side. Then for setting up the marketing hub and exhibition centers by the industrial association, 10 crore rupees will be given for product specific association for setting up these kind of exhibition halls and centers. So this is basically CDP program. So these are the few schemes I have spoken. I just given some insight about a few schemes which can help you when you are starting your enterprise, and you can look for the different, whether it's a technology, whether it's a marketing support, whether it's a IP support, and financial support, of course. So these schemes can help you, in your entrepreneurship journey. But if you want to have more information about what are the other schemes available from Ministry of MSME side, we have this portal which can help you to get this access of information. Like we have this portal my.msme.gov.in. On that portal, you can access and actually apply all these schemes available from Ministry of MSME site. It's a single platform. So this portal is also available on a Google Play Store. You can download through the Google Play Store, and you can access this application portal. Apart from that, if you want more information and you want to contact Ministry of MSME related to the any kind of grievance you have, any kind of suggestion you have, then you can visit this champions portal. This champions portal is having various kind of, we have a central control room as well as a state control room, and these control rooms are providing hand holding support to the MSME. Generally we are receiving lots of complaints regarding when MSMEs are applying to the banks, and their loan application get rejected by the banks. So such kind of grievances can be any kind of grievances can be submitted through this champion portal, and then this control room will take up this matter with the concerned agencies and trying to resolve and trying to provide the best solution to the MSME enterprises. So these are very important portal in terms of in terms of when you are applying to these schemes, and through that you can get more information. Also in this portal you'll get all these latest scheme, all these schemes available from the Ministry of MSME side, and other information also available on this champions portal. Then if you have any issue related to the delay payment, you can visit this portal, MSME Samadhan portal. On that portal you can register grievance related to the delay payment made by the person, the organization where you supplied your goods. So on that Samadhan portal also you can submit your complaint, and then again the Ministry of MSME will take up the matter with the defaulter and try to provide the best solution available. Then this MSME Sampark portal is also very important for this to the potential entrepreneurs. Under this Sampark portal, we have it's created a kind of matchmaking, the people who can provide the employment and the people who are looking for the employment opportunities. So under the Sampark portal, like lakhs of people being trained by the Ministry of MSME through our training institute, and we register the people on this Sampark portal. So here these enterprises, when they are looking for some kind of skilled manpower, they can access the people who are looking for the employment opportunity to this Sampark portal, and the people who are who want to get the employment opportunity, they can also get the employment opportunity. So this is a kind of matchmaking to create the employment opportunities through this portal. So this Sampark portal is also very important. Then if you want to register your industry as an MSME with the Ministry of MSME, you can visit this udyamregistration.gov.in, this portal, where you can submit. It takes only 5 minutes. You can submit your application, and you'll get your MSME registration certificate, and with that you can take all these benefits. So these are the few web service available. So these are a small presentation from my side. I hope this information, this presentation being informative to all of you. In case if you have any question, anything you want to ask, any more clarification you want on the particular scheme, please feel free to ask your question.
Yeah, the floor is open for questions now. If anybody has any questions, you may put it in chat box also.
Yeah, can I ask a question? Yeah, very wonderful talk, Mr. Satish Kumar. I just wanted to know, how about these persons of Indian origin who are settled abroad? Can they apply for any of these schemes?
Well, there is no clear-cut guidelines. Generally, it totally depends on which schemes they are applying. As of now, there is no guideline on that whether they settled. But the scheme says they should have citizenship of India only, and their mode of operation should be in India only. Like when you are submitting, suppose I'm talking a particular scheme like a PMGP program, so they will be eligible to take benefit only if their projects being run and operated in the jurisdiction of the country India, and they have citizenship of India. In that case, they can apply. Otherwise, they will not be eligible. This is for the Indian citizens only, Indian citizens.
And how about giving back these loans in the various schemes which government is offering? How is the
Well,
take back?
each scheme is having their own guidelines and procedures. If we see, if I talk about under the PMGP program, Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, if you're applying under that program, so there is a no relaxation in the in interest rate. It will be decided by the in case of
Sorry,
different.
I
Yeah, thank you. If you see the different schemes have their own procedures and guidelines, so there is a no role of Government of India on that part. Only the Government of India is providing either collateral or some kind of subsidies. If I'm citing particular scheme like a PMGP program under the Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, if some kind of loans get approved, so there are different forms of different level of subsidies are available. So suppose someone get, for example, 10 lakh rupees get approved. And is eligible for 25% subsidies. So 2.5 lakh will be charged by banks to the government of India, and the government of India will give back this subsidy amount to the bank, and bank will deduct this money from the loan account of that applicant. But from the interest rate part and repayment schedule that differ from bank to bank, that will be the same. It will not be affected with this policy. So only subsidy part and this the collateral part will be covered by Government of India. But each bank has their own procedures and schedule. Only the moratorium period, if it is cited in the guidelines, then only that only will available. Generally, it is a 1 month, sorry, 1 year period is there. Like 1 year, you don't require to pay back, but after 1 year, so whatever the mentioned this sanction letter by the bank, accordingly they have to pay back. So when the loan gets sanctioned, they get a sanction order, sanction letter, and it is mentioned that after 1 year, these will be your EMIs and whatever the payment module. Accordingly, the applicant has to pay.
no, my question basically pertain to startups, where majority of the startups don't end up flourishing. So in that case, if there is some kind of what do you say, finances given by the or the aid given by the government, in that case, what happens?
You can say if they get default.
Hmm.
Okay, in case of default, generally the scheme, the guarantee part being, in different scheme like PMGP program and the Stand Up India program, the defaulter is covered by the Government of India. So the money will be paid to the bank by the corpus created by the Government of India. From that corpus, the money will be paid to the bank. So still the startup side, there is no problem. There will not much issue from the startup side. Like for example, we have a CGT MSME program, which is giving covering a project cost up to 5 crore. So any startup has taken a loan up to 5 crore rupees in case you get defaulter. So the bank will not ask to the startup, like if it should not be willful defaulter, but in case in circumstances get defaulter, the bank will not ask to the startup. The bank will ask to the Government of India, because the government has given a guarantee to that loan, that in case that person is defaulting, that money can be covered from the corpus created by Government of India. So this is already there. That is already provisions are there, and I think there is no issue in that case. So this will be covered in scheme only. I hope I.
Sir,
Thank you, thank you.
sir, I have a question. Sir, for the startup, I am going with one proposal. Means who will examine the proposals initially and what will be the flow of that proposal?
Well, this is also depends on under which scheme you're applying. Generally, suppose if I give example of few schemes are directly scrutinized by the banks only, and in a few schemes there is implementing agencies are there. Like if you're applying under the PMGP program, Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, your first application when you're online applying, you have to choose a particularly center of KVIC or DIC. So whatever applicable, if you're from the rural area, you will choose the KVIC center, And if you're from the urban area, you will choose the DIC center, district industrial center. So first level, they will examine your application, and then if they're satisfied, they will forward your application online to the particular bank you have chosen. So generally, when you're applying, you choose you put IFC code and choose a particular bank where you're applying. So then again, the bank will do the scrutiny, and if it is satisfied, then they disburse this amount to the applicant under the PMGP program. But for the other scheme like a CGT MSME program and Stand Up India program, Mudra scheme, there is no implementing agencies, and the banks are directly doing all kind of scrutiny, due diligence, and after that they disburse this money to the startup.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Majorly, the scrutiny part is done by the banks only. Generally, banks are having their own committees, and the committees are examining the proposal whether the DPR is in the proper format, the costing and a break-even point, financial statements. All these documents should be in a proper way. Then they, after their scrutiny, they approve the proposal and disburse this amount.
Sir, is it any extra benefits? It's extra credit for students?
Well, we can't say the students because students they might be studying. If they're going to start their business, like they can apply under the PMGP, and subsidies amount are there. Different subsidy amount of is there, and that can be availed. Otherwise, if they are not interested right now, interested in doing their business, but they want to prepare, some kind of ideas they have, and they require some kind of funding support. For further development on their work, so they can participate in our MSME idea hackathon. Like we are giving 15 lakh rupees, up to 15 lakh rupees for the proof of concept and prototype development. So these are the better schemes for the students. Like they can start with these various hackathon and incubation support available.
Yeah. Sir, I have one question. That's you mentioned two things. It's post institute and business incubator. So are these two the same, or is there any difference in between two?
Oh yeah, technical. They are same only. Earlier we used to say business incubator and host institute. Like they are more of same. Same. They are generally colleges or R&D institution who are implementing agencies who supposed to provide all kind of mentoring and kind of support for the development of this idea. Uh,
Okay. And sir, how can an institute become host institute? I mean, if any academic institute wants to be HI, is there any prerequisite for that?
okay. For if an institute wants to apply, so there is an online portal for that. So they require to visit that portal. That is the innovative.msme.go.in. By visiting this portal, they will get the icon registered as HI, and by filling all the details, they can submit their application. So once the application submitted, we forward this application to our local MSME office, and generally local MSME office visit that institute and see the what kind of R&D facilities are there, whether they can provide this kind of nurturing and mentoring support to the students. So some set of minimum standards and a minimum level of facility should be there. It is there. Then they submit a report to the ministry. These facilities are available there, and they can facilitate the startup, the students for their idea development. And then after their recommendation, ministry recommended these kind of host institute, and then they can take the ideas from the startups and students and faculty members.
Okay, sir. Is there anybody? Is there any other question from the participants? In? Okay. Okay, I thank you a lot, sir, for this wonderful presentation. I'm sure our participants would have had a better understanding of all the MSME schemes and would definitely have get inspired in their respective pursuits. Thank you very much for taking this session, sir, accepting our invitation and having it joined and letting this session go very nicely. Thanks a lot for your presentation, sir. So moving ahead, we have
Khushbu, unmute yourself.
moving ahead, we have our next speaker, who is none other than our own Vice Chancellor, sir. I'm really very delighted to welcome you, sir, and introduce you to our audience today. Professor Prabhat Ranjan is currently the founder, vice chancellor, of our very own university, DYPIU International University, which is located in Akurdi, Pune. Sir is a nuclear fusion scientist, a futurist, an educator, an innovator, an entrepreneur, and a new science communicator. From 2013 till to 2018, he was heading India's scientific think tank, that is called TIFAC, in Delhi, as its executive director. During this tenure, Sir has developed a technology vision 2035, which was released by Honorable Prime Minister then in January 2016. And PMO has also directed all the departments and ministries to follow this document and take the agenda forward, with the overall coordination being done by Niti Aayog. Professor Ranjan has also worked on nuclear fusion in national and international labs in India and USA, and made major contribution to his field for nearly 2 decades. He has worked as project leader for Aditya Tokamak and SST-1 Tokamak Control Group at Institute of Plasma Research in Gandhinagar till 2002. And after this, he served as professor at Dhirubhai Ambani Institute of ICT in Gandhinagar for 11 years. His remarkable innovative contributions include India's moon mission, wildlife, and agriculture sector. He's particularly known for his innovations in the field of assistive technology that has helped to put smiles on the faces of persons with severe disability. Sir has obtained his PhD from University of California, Berkeley, and did his college education from IIT Kharagpur and University of Delhi. Sir has received many awards and accolades for his contribution to science and technology and society. In December 2018 itself, Sir received Visionary Leader of the Year 2018 and Bejor Bihar Bharat Ratna Award also. We are really fortunate to have Professor Prabhat Ranjan here today with us, and I'm certain that his insights and experiences will enrich us, our understandings, and inspire us in our own respective pursuits. With this, I welcome you, sir, and I hand over this session to you, sir.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Let me just check if the slide is changing. Has it gone to the next slide?
Not yet, sir.
Not. Okay. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, now it's visible in full screen, sir.
And is it changed?
Yes, sir, yes, it's changed.
Okay, fine. So thank you, Khushbu, for organizing this, and sorry that I could not be here earlier due to another parallel event. I have been given this topic as entrepreneurship, a mindset. I'll try to do my justice to this, but I don't think I can do full justice. I'll try to do my best. I'm trying to cover a few areas here, starting from societal issues that are important for our country, to look from entrepreneurship point of view. As Khushbu mentioned about my involvement with Technology Vision 2035, so I'll cover some parts of that. I'll also cover a little bit about exponential technologies. And then the new kid on the block is generative AI, generative artificial intelligence, and it's linked to intellectual property. And then what we are doing at DYPIU, our university, in this direction of entrepreneurship. So one of the things that was missed out in my introduction was my involvement as a child from age of 10 in a Gurukul style school called Netarhat. It's near Ranchi. It was a school where we used to live in ashram. I used to live in Nalanda ashram from age of 10. We used to do all the work ourselves, cleaning toilets, cleaning floors. That was my routine. But in India, typically what happens, there's a bias against physical labor. The dignity of labor is not identified. So this leads to many, many things that happens. The labs are ignored in the school. Hardware-based work in college is reduced to the minimum. That limits the possibility of innovation because you cannot simply be just working on software. If you look at China today, the money that China has made and become the leading economy of the world is because of the manufacturing. It has become the manufacturing hub of the whole world. And I'm going to come back to this point later on because right now, India has an opportunity to make a big change in this and take up this role of becoming a manufacturing hub of the world. And all the indications in that direction, but actually it all depends on young people as to how do they look at working with hands. We have engineers, a mechanical engineer who would not want to work in factory. Everybody wants to be sitting in AC room and actually looking at a computer and so on, and not having to go to shop floor. That is completely affecting our manufacturing. This is all coming from the fact that we don't value the dignity of labor. There's another point. So if I go to US, for example, I do all the work myself. So for once, even US or any other developed countries, you find working with hand is not at all a problem. But when you come to India, the completely situation changes. Other thing that is happening in India is the lack of teamwork. So I give a typical example that we have two neighbors. One is, say, Sharma ji, one is Verma ji. They're both neighbors. Sharma ji will typically tell their children that Verma ji children are doing better, you people not doing good. And Verma ji will say the same thing, the Sharma ji children are doing better and you're not doing good. So we create a competition among the young children right from day one, not a competitive, not a cooperative spirit, but competing spirit. So then what happens is that we don't want to work in the team. And this affects actually entrepreneurship, where people trying to come together to work as a team becomes very difficult because everybody wants to find its own way. And that leads to issues between the founders and so on. And the teamwork is not appreciated at all. According to Sham Pitroda, if you take one Indian, he or she is going to do more work than 10 Americans. Put 10 Indians together, they'll do less work than one American. So this is another very important part, which is something that starts from home, from early stage, is nothing to do with later on system. Personally, I have been promoting a scheme called 1 in 1. It's a social movement where I encourage children to work with hand at least 1 hour in 1 week. For example, cleaning dishes, repairing things, gardening, etc. And as I told about my education in Netarhat, in Gurukul style school, this was something we did regularly. In Japan, actually, all the children who go to school actually do all the cleaning dishes, serving food, and so on. This is a regular thing in Japan, actually, Japanese schools, which is one of the most developed countries. India, I just saw somewhere a teacher asked a student to clean something in the school, and he was suspended. When I was a child, I was growing up to class 5, I was sitting on the floor. It was duty of the first child who comes to school or the classroom is to clean the floor. That was a routine. Today, all that has changed. We need to go back and realize that there is a dignity of labor that should be focused on. Other thing, we just had a meeting in Delhi on the 3rd year of new education policy. And we overemphasize on placements. So most Indian institutes publish, we have big news about items talking about placements, huge salaries in 1 crore, 2 crores rupees, 20 lakh, 40 lakh, 50 lakh rupees. And some of these are basically converted from dollars into rupees, giving a wrong answer. This also has a negative impact on entrepreneurship because the parents think that my child is going to come out of the college and suddenly he would have a crore rupees salary in his or her pocket. Why should he spend time on becoming an entrepreneur, which has a lot of uncertainties and so on and so forth? So this has negative impact on entrepreneurship. So I've been talking about this, that let's not overemphasize the placement part and something that is affecting our entrepreneurship. And country cannot grow without entrepreneurs. So these are societal issues that I thought I'll talk about. Coming back to Technology Vision 2035, so as was mentioned in my introduction, I was heading India's technology think tank, TIFAC, which had prepared Technology Vision 2020 document. That time Dr. Kalam used to be its chairman. During my tenure as head of the organization, we had prepared Technology Vision 2035. Prime Minister actually wrote the foreword to this document. He launched it on January 3, 2016 at Mysore at Indian Science Congress, and he asked all ministries and government departments to follow this document, and with Niti Aayog doing the coordination. And a lot of changes that are happening because of this document, although people are not aware of that. Those who are interested can look at my blogs where I talked about how the whole document came up, what has been the impact, and so on. One of the things that we have talked about in this document is that wars of the future would not be fought at borders, but in patent offices. That means intellectual property is going to be extremely important part of these wars, and that is already being seen in many cases. And a lot of this has to do with technology changes that is happening. So if I compare the two documents, Technology Vision 2020 and Technology Vision 2035, the Technology Vision 2020 focused on developing India as a country. So Dr. Kalam, last breath, talked about developed India. I last heard him in 2015, and on July 27th, 2015, we lost him. And met him in July 2013 after moving to Delhi to take over TIFAC. He told me that we still have 7 years remaining for 2020 to achieve this vision of developed India. Make sure that we achieve that vision. But we were already working on Technology Vision 2035, and we changed the focus. We changed from India to Indians. We said that we must focus on developing quality of life of each Indian. Entrepreneurship is actually towards that goal of making sure that you can improve the quality of life and there's money to be made as well. Very briefly, we try to identify what do we mean by quality of life. We define what we call 12 prerogatives. 6 on the top are individual prerogatives, 6 on the bottom are collective prerogatives. Each of these prerogatives, for example, clean air and potable water, we had 1 to 1.5 pages of broad and focused targets for the country. And each of these prerogatives was followed by the technology table. The technology table has 4 columns. The leftmost column is technology which is ready to deploy. That means technology which is almost happened. It's being used worldwide or within India also, but not being used on wider scale within India. The second column that is there in this is technology which needs to go from lab to field. This is India's weakest point, where most of the work the scientists and engineers do in the lab remains within the confine of lab. We are happy publishing papers, even if now there's been a little bit more awareness of patents. 10 years back, it was not there. But even if we file patents, I remember I was heading a patent facility cell in Delhi as a chairman of the committee. We used to file patents free of cost for all academic institutions. But when we used to get the grant for the patents after 5-6 years, the people who are involved with that, they have run away. They are no longer interested in commercializing this. So patent not being commercialized is of no use. Third column was technology which needs targeted development. For example, if you look at space, atomic energy, and so on, these areas we have done quite wonderful. And because we knew exactly, Chandrayaan-3, we know what we want to do. We have to reach the moon. We have to do certain things. So those areas we've done well. But most of other areas, we have not done this properly, where the money gets spent, but results don't come out. So we had identified the third column was for such technologies. There were total 60 of these technologies. Out of the 20, Niti Aayog had taken up to provide fundings to commercialize. The fourth column, last column on the right side, is technology and imagination. That was, we put those technologies there, which we thought may happen, may not happen. It may take 20, 30, 40 years' time. We had put all those technologies there, hoping that something may happen, something may not happen. What was very surprising was that those we put there, understanding is very uncertain. Some of them started to happen even before we could hand over the document to Prime Minister's office formally in September 2014. In fact, once the Prime Minister Modi took over on May 26, 2014, his office requested a copy of this document. It was in draft mode. We sent them the document and finalized and submitted in September. So about 1 to 1.5 year time that took to prepare the document. Some of this technology, which was very uncertain, started to happen. So two trends are very clear. The technology is happening at a much faster pace than we expect, and technology diffusion is also very fast. That means technology obsolescence is extremely high. This means as an entrepreneur, we need to keep track of technology that is happening ahead of time. It should not be that already something has happened and then you start working on that. And this is the weakness of India, that most of the time, actually, when something has been done abroad, we start copying it here. And by the time the situation changes, because there'll be new technology that already will come by the time we develop it. So we need to foresee technology. And this was the kind of work we're doing in TIFE, actually foreseeing technology through various methods. I don't have time to go into detail, but I'm hoping that we can organize sessions on this, on how to foresee technology ahead of time and work on that. Even the document technology vision 2025, although it is now almost 10 years since we prepared, but many of those are still quite valid. It is worth looking into some of them. For example, if you see this picture, and there's a year that is marked there, 2018. So there's an old slide which was talking about drones becoming a very important part, and by 2018 it will play an important role. So this is the area where there's a lot of entrepreneurship is happening actually. And this one is showing, for example, in a disaster area, I could be supplying medicine or food, or even being able to lift a person out of that zone into safe zone, especially people who have been injured physically and so on. So drones are now being used for so many purposes, and there's a lot of entrepreneurship possible in this. This is a picture of an autonomous vehicle, and this actually creates a lot of new opportunities. And this we are showing the date is like 2025. For example, normally when we travel, we like to stay in a hotel and then travel in the daytime and so on. Today, it may be possible that if I'm in an autonomous vehicle, I can simply sleep in the vehicle and the car itself is driving me. Suppose from, say, Kolhapur to Mumbai, it may take 6 to 8 hours time. I don't have to get into a hotel. I can sleep inside the car itself, and the car is driving itself and making me reach the destination. How can you make car comfortable to sleep and at the same time safe to drive across the road, making reach from destination? So it will create new type of opportunities on the roads where people are sleeping in these, what requirements they might have, that will be a completely different ballgame than what is being done today. This is again autonomous bus, which creates its own dimension to create opportunity for entrepreneurship. Then we had talked about Hyperloop technology, and this year 2023, I'm not sure whether we will see use of this, but we are coming very close to some of the thing happening. Maybe it might take 2 to 3 years more. I have to check the thing. But when we put this technology, in this actually you can move. Those who have not heard of Hyperloop, we had put this in our document 2013. This allows you to move at a speed of 1200 kilometers per hour. That means suppose I am flying from Mumbai to Delhi, it takes 2 hours, or from Pune to Delhi, it takes about 2 hours time. I could go that same distance in about 80 minutes. And how this is happening? Because this is happening because this Hyperloop, the tube that you are seeing is evacuated tube, and through magnetic levitation, you're moving something like a car at a very high speed because there's no friction. So you see, these are developments. I'm moving a car on the road. There's a friction of the road, and there's a friction of the air as we're moving into that. When we moved into aeroplanes, actually the friction of the road has gone. It's only the friction of the air. As we go to higher and higher heights, actually the air density is less, so there's less friction. Now, by creating vacuum, actually, we are removing both the friction of the road or the surface and the air, and that way you can move at a much faster speed. So this Hyperloop technology provides many opportunities. And actually, when we put up this, Mr. Nitin Gadkari went through the document and actually went and met Elon Musk, invited him to actually come to India and set up a test facility in Mumbai and Pune. I'm happy to tell you that some projects started along this line in Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, Chennai, Amravati, Vijayawada, and so on. For example, Amravati to Vijayawada is 42 kilometers that can be covered in only 6 minutes time. Other major opportunity that is there is some of that starting to happen is using augmented reality, virtual reality, holography for education purpose. It's a huge opportunity because everything has to change to this new medium of learning. And we are already doing some of this, but we need lakhs and lakhs of entrepreneurs to actually use this technology to create the content, because you cannot simply scanning textbooks and putting there. You have to create new ways of learning through this. Similarly, our interaction with the environment is going to be based on voice. We're already using, for example, in my house, I have a Google Home, or my daughter's home in US is Alexa, and you can interact with that without having to connect. So there's a lot of opportunity that this brings to create new entrepreneurship possibilities. Robotics is another area that is coming in a big way. So, for example, this is a robot that actually can clean your kitchen, pick up things, and do everything. This is going to be, again, a big game changer. In fact, this I'm forgetting the name of this robot. It's already demo piece was done sometime back. So, we're expecting next 5 to 7 years, there's a lot of robots helping us not only in factories but also in our household activities. And actually, one more thing I'd like to mention here is that look at the disability sector, something that I've been spending a lot of time. This is again a great area where a lot of help can be provided to people with disabilities due to either old age, due to disease, due to accident, or birth time impacts. Another area that actually is become very, very important and something that our university is pioneering is technology of something like additive manufacturing or 3D printing. I'm happy to tell you that we started to promote this technology in Delhi for a long time. And in the university here also, we set up digital fabrication lab covering 3D printing, laser engraving, CNC, and so on. And this has been picked up by All India Council for Technical Education, AICTE, through a scheme called Idea Lab, of which I am the chairman. Through this, we are setting up these centers for digital fabrication across the country. And this is a digital fabrication movement that is taking place inside the country through our efforts. For example, this 3D printed house in Dubai looks a beautiful house, was printed in 1 month's time only. Another area which is happening now, actually, it's happening now in India also, but when a few years back I have to talk about, I have to only give examples of Singapore, Japan, and US, is multi-layer vertical farming. In this case, in the same area you can grow 40 to 300 times more crop using 90% less water, no pesticides, and so on. And this can be done without any sunlight being present inside. In fact, you use artificial light to grow the crop faster. You can grow it according to time you can control, and everything is controlled in this. And you can go just like in buildings we have gone vertically, multi-layer vertical farming that can be done through this. This is also starting to happen in India, sometimes called urban farming also. Certain types of crops are more suitable right now compared to other crops. In particular, things like leafy vegetables, you have cherry tomatoes and so on. But as the costs come down, many other possibilities are there. And these actually you can harvest the crop and take it to the user within 2 hours. So it's very fresh. It's like from directly from farm to the plate, or as they call farm to fork. Similarly, artificial leaf has been generated, which can convert sunlight and carbon dioxide into fuel more efficiently than a normal organic leaf. So new artificial leaves have been created. This is a scene from a movie called Ex Machina, where it is shown that a female robot has developed consciousness. It's a very interesting thing when you watch that. So can robots develop consciousness? That is the other thing that is being talked about. But what I can tell you is that due to neuromorphic computing, a lot of new opportunity that is coming in robots, where robots typically nowadays, if you take, for example, Sophia and so on, they actually go to cloud for computing. So if they're seeing something and listening to something, the computation is being done at the cloud, which there's a delay that is involved with that. Due to neuromorphic computing, it will become like human brain, where I don't have to go to cloud. I'm an independent system, and I can respond much faster. And technology like 5G technology and so on that is coming in, also going to make sure that even if I'm using cloud and so on, the latency is reduced. Body and machine are combined together. For example, this gentleman, who is a tattooing artist, lost his hand or arm, And now he did not want a prosthetic arm. He wanted a tattooing machine attached to his body, so he could. So the human body and machine is combining together. Body and machine combining together. This person has a prosthetic arm that can be used, or hand that can be used to fly a drone, and so on and so forth. This is the exoskeleton which can carry very heavy weight. For 8 hours, once you charge, you can carry heavy weight. So, for example, coolies, and we have a lot of workers who are carrying heavy loads. This can reduce the burden on the body. They can move much faster. And this is also very useful for defense purposes, where soldiers can carry a lot of load and move much faster without putting burden on their body and exhausting them. So this exoskeleton is extremely important area as well. Another interesting area is, according to NASA estimate, between Mars and Jupiter, there's an asteroid belt. There's an asteroid belt. The asteroid belt has so much mineral wealth, Mars and Jupiter, that actually we can if we divide that mineral wealth into all the human beings on the earth, everyone will get $100 billion. Everyone will get $100 billion. For example, this particular asteroid is valued at $10,000 quadrillion, not billion, $10,000 quadrillion. So there's a move towards the asteroid belt to capture that, and people are trying to do that. I think Japan has tried something, others are trying. So this is the whole race towards the space that you might be seeing is actually focused on this, going to Moon, Mars, and the asteroid belt. There's a huge mineral wealth lying available to those. But these are things which you cannot do in one day. But today I'm happy to tell you that within India, a lot of space-based entrepreneurs have come up, and there's a lot of good funding happening, and government is also supporting that. And just yesterday, India has come out with a draft deep tech startup policy. So those who are interested then can actually look into that deep tech startup policy. Before I go into the next one, I would also like to mention that I'm a nuclear fusion scientist, and from 20 years of my life, starting from PhD days till 2002, I spent on nuclear fusion. I'm the first PhD from this country in nuclear fusion. In my university in 2020, we received a request from a US investor to start nuclear fusion project. And I would not take more time on this unless there's interest, but I would like to tell you that the energy sector, there's a lot of work going on, and nuclear fusion nobody's talking about. But I'm expecting that by 2035, we'll be able to commercialize nuclear fusion because of certain developments, especially due to high temperature superconducting magnets. And recently we have seen a news where normal temperature superconducting magnet development is starting to become possible. So this is going to be a big game changer, and this is going to lead to commercialization of nuclear fusion for energy production. In the university, we started a project which was actually to use the neutrons that come out of nuclear fusion reactors, to use the neutrons for various purposes. I don't have time to go into details unless there are questions and people are interested in that. One more thing that I want to mention here is in 2013, when I was in Delhi, we had a meeting with the Ministry of Commerce and Ministry of MSME actually to boost export in certain areas. The background of that was around 2011-12. India's export came down from $320 billion to $260 billion. It was a huge drop of 20-25%. So there was an interministerial group that was formed to addressing this challenge of falling exports from MSME sector. And we had our official from Ministry of MSME present before me. Unfortunately, I could not hear him except towards the end. So my organization, TIFOS, has given a mandate to boost export in certain areas. These areas are electronic goods sector, guar gum, technical textile, essential oils with focus on flavors and fragrances. And I'll just like to take example of guar gum actually. So what we found was that guar gum, I don't know how many of you know, the guar beans are used in Maharashtra also. I think it's called gawar. In major producers is Rajasthan actually. And whole world's production, and the guar gum is actually the powder. So it's just like we make besan out of chana. Similar, the guar beans are converted to besan, that's called the guar gum, by grinding it and so on, taking the seeds, grinding it. It had an export of about 3,000 crores for food and pharma sector mainly. And Rajasthan, so India produces 80% of the world's production within India. And Pakistan 50%, rest of the world only 5%. And within India, 70% of the production of this is within Rajasthan, but 12% in Gujarat and 12% in Haryana, and rest of the country, very small amounts. So when we were asked to look into this, I was very surprised to see that what is happening in the sector. We saw that this particular product, guar gum, suddenly had a major jump in requirement because of fracking industry that had come up in US, hydrofracking. I'm not going to details of this, through which oil and gas being created. The guar gum was being used there by chemical processing. And we did a patent analysis to understand what was going on. And I will just share this news here, or this information, that despite 80% share in global export, India holds less than 1% of 11,000 plus patents globally, clearly indicating a huge gap in R&D efforts to do value addition and enhance export in this sector. So guar gum, we are the 80% major producer, but who buys from us? China. Suppose I'm selling to China at 100 rupees kilo, China processes it further, sells at 1,000 rupees kilo to US. Who makes more money? China, not India. So we need to look at our own raw material that we are either through minor forest produce, through agriculture or minerals. Instead of exporting raw material, we need to enhance the value of that and then export, and that is going to be a major game changer. For example, you see a lot of perfumes that are being made in France. The medicinal plants and the plants that is coming out of India, going to there, and then value goes to 10,000 times or 20,000 times, 100,000 times, and it's sold back into India. So, lesson we learned was that in working with the Department of Commerce, NRDC, National Research Development Council, Department of Scientific and Industrial Research, and so on, we saw that there was a potential for rupees 50,000 crores per year just from this. And we've identified all raw materials to India's major exporter without value addition. So there are 400 such material with earning potential of lakhs and crores of rupees per year. Let me quickly go to technologies, exponential technologies. These are technologies in which innovation is happening, accelerating faster than the Moore's law. Examples of these are additive manufacturing, 3D printing, quantum computing, artificial intelligence, advanced robotics, virtual and augmented reality, alternative energy, biotechnology, and digital medicine, and so on. There's a famous futurist called Peter Diamandis, who has a principle called 6 Ds. That is, basically, it says that anything that's digitized gets democratized at the end. For example, digital photography. I remember I used to be a proud owner of a camera at the age of 10. Once you go digitized, then you're no longer proud owner of a camera because everybody has a camera in their hand. So it goes through different phases, starting from digitization to a deceptive phase, where developments are very slow, and suddenly it comes out of nowhere and becomes a disruptive element. Then get demonetized because the cost starts to come down, and then get dematerialized with a lot of things combined together, and then they get democratized. If you look at digital cameras, for example, and you look at a mobile phone. Now, mobile phone is doing many things, including working like a torch, working like a phone, working like a camera, and so many things is happening. So that is dematerialization, and now it was democratized, where every single person, you go around, you see that everybody has a mobile phone in hand, which is doing many of these things. So this is the principle of 6 Ds. Anything that digitized gets democratized. This is a very important lesson for entrepreneurs. Now, let me come to the generative AI. Some of you might be hearing things like ChatGPT and so on. These are part of what is called generative AI. This was the work was going on. Certainly with the ChatGPT coming into picture, things have changed. It's come into public domain, otherwise it's in the hands of people. Hands of experts. Now it has come into common domain. So I'm using this particular paper written by Samarpita Chakravarti for this part of my talk. What is generative AI? So with the rapid advancement in artificial intelligence and especially generative AI, intellectual property law boundaries have become increasingly complex, where human beings are not involved in generating certain things. For example, I'll give you my own example. I'm writing storybooks, and I share on YouTube. You can go to YouTube and write Nanaji publication. You'll find a story that is written by ChatGPT, illustration done by another AI tool, and I'm putting all together for my grandson, who is about 5.5 years old, and I'm sharing this with my voice on the YouTube for other children. So actually, now when AI is involved in generating this, for example, all the illustrations, I have not used any brush or anything like that, or I have not used any pen or typewriter or computer to type, all through ChatGPT. Who holds the intellectual property? This is a complex question that is becoming very difficult to answer right now. And there's a lot of discussion going on for quite some time now. So generative AI refers to system that can autonomously create original innovative outputs such as artwork, music, or even written content, raising critical questions about the ownership and production of these creations. So we need to be aware of this, and these use deep learning algorithms to generate new content by analyzing learning from vast amounts of existing data that has been created. These algorithms can create works that mimic or even surpass human-generated content regarding quality and creativity. Yesterday, only some bank officers come, and some of the paintings that I have done using this, they were amazed with the kind of generation that was there. And I'm not by any means an artist. So the fundamental question that who owns the creation generated by AI systems? And traditional intellectual property laws were not designed to address the system. Now work is going on. I'll not go into detail. I just wanted to bring up this issue to your consideration. So challenges are that determining the ownership of generative AI outputs requires carefully examining several factors. One such factor is the level of human intervention in the creative process. More than human involvement is there, the stronger the argument for human ownership becomes. But in some cases, there is absolutely no involvement of human beings. So this is an issue for the country, and all the world countries in the world are discussing this, and laws are being modified appropriately. And so when I'm using these tools, I have to be careful about protecting AI-generated creations to make sure that I can protect my effort. Let me leave out this part. Okay. Let me come to what we are doing in university, actually. Basically, this is the last part of my presentation. So in 2018, we planned for engineering program. 2018, we started the university with a few programs, namely 6 degree programs. And for 2019, we wanted to launch an engineering program, and we planned out the BTech Commerce Science Engineering program in 2018, and we had internal discussions, and then I wrote a blog on this and shared on LinkedIn and Facebook, and I was surprised with the kind of excitement that it created in the whole world, actually. More than 50,000 views, hundreds of comments from all over the world, from Silicon Valley, from London, Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad, and all of this feedback I took. And then we launched the program finally in 2019. And this was a multi-track system. I don't not go into details of these. A track means that first 2 years are common courses, and last 2 years you choose a track or a specialization. For example, if I choose AI/ML specialization, it means 8 to 9 courses related to that. That's the track, actually. It's not one subject, it's 8 to 9 subjects being taught over 2 years. And you make this choice at the end of 2 years. Now, what we did in this to promote entrepreneurship, we brought in design thinking and digital fabrication lab right in the first year itself. In the second semester, we brought in internship after first year. So you have to go and work on rural problems, societal problems, or small industry problems. Understand problems at the hand. Entrepreneurs need to understand problems that people are facing and look for solutions for that. We also brought in technology, commerce, and entrepreneurship in the third semester, and also environmental science, climate change, and sustainable development goals. When you become an entrepreneur, you need to be aware of the environment that you're working to make sure that you're not going against environment or climate change issues and sustainable development goals. You have to keep that in mind. So all this we brought in the first 2 years to make that sure that we create more job creators rather than job seekers. And we also integrated a few 5-year program. We made integrated masters and bachelors into 5-year program. Fortunately, this led to AICT liking this program very much and sending a formal appreciation letter. I'm not going to details, but they actually formed a committee of which I was a member. So what we done in 2019 is shown on the left side, and AICT copied this on the right side. Of course, they could not make it as flexible as we had done, they told me. And so this led to change across the country, this kind of curriculum, which promotes entrepreneurship right from the beginning. On the same pattern, we have started BTech Bioengineering and MBA Digital Business programs in 2020. But I wanted to focus on labs part. So in the labs, or fabrication lab had 3D printers, CNC, laser engraver, 3D scanner, sublimation printer, and so on, CNC wood routers. So all of these are exposed to students, right? And they have to actually work. They have to use it. It's not just fabrication. They have to use it. It's like a normal lab that they do. And actually, we have other labs, but I'll leave out the programming labs. This is a bioengineering lab, but I want to show this. For example, we train students in augmented reality, virtuality. This is very important for entrepreneurs today. There's a lot of scope here. I've been training people in HoloLens, Microsoft HoloLens 2, for example. Again, there's a lot of potential for innovation here by creating the right content. And ASC like this program very much. They actually, as I mentioned, they formed the Idea Lab committee, of which I'm the chairman. Through this, we are setting up centers across the country, Idea Lab centers, which 106 centers we have set up. This is a faculty development program that we conducted in the university in 2021 in 3D printing, laser ribbon cutting, in CNC wood router, electronic system design, sublimation printer, and so on. So this is very important for entrepreneurs to learn these techniques, because digital fabrication is going to be a big game changer, not only in prototyping, but also manufacturing part. And this has led to undergraduate research jumping up by huge amounts. A lot of students are making things which would have been impossible to imagine earlier. Like, for example, the 6-foot plus humanoid robot. This is an old picture. And we are also keeping in mind societal issues. So, for example, our binding students are working to make prosthetic limbs and give it free of cost to needy children. Another very interesting thing that we've done for entrepreneurs is create this lab in a bag. It's a small device. When you connect to a computer or laptop through USB port, it gives all electronic equipment that you require: oscilloscope, function, multimeter, logic lines. Everything is there in your laptop bag. You can work on hardware project, embedded system project, anywhere that you like. So just like software, where we are doing well because students have access to computer, laptop, internet now, the hardware becomes available. So now that is going to be the game change for manufacturing, the lab in bag concept that we have done in the university. We also encourage the students to borrow a 3D printer or buy a 3D printer. We have almost 50 3D printers available to students actually. So to end my talk and to allow for a good time for discussion, if it is there, the key issues are that the technology is happening at a faster rate than we expect. Technology foresight is more important than past. That means I need to be able to see what is change going to be happening, and I need to prepare myself as an entrepreneur for that. It may be 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line. And we have actually this is actually, I must mention this is a golden period for India. So young people, lot of investment is coming into India. We are almost finalizing technology for commercialization with global investments of about more than 200 crores rupees. And this is not an Indian guy, but it's a global investor, purely investing in India. I had a meeting, almost at final stages, we had a meeting with the chairman of that global body, investing body, 4 or 5 days back, and he was upbeat on India. And he said that we are clearly moving out of China and actually focusing on India. He was very happy with India, actually. So thousands of crores of rupees are coming into India. I've been very slow. Personally, a lot of people have been contacting me. This one is moved ahead, almost we're at the final stage. And so invention, innovation backed by IPR protection is going to be critical for India to move ahead in knowledge-led society of 21st century. Document like Technology Vision 2035 can serve to set the direction to guide nation in meeting the aspirations of young mind. I would like to show one more document here. I don't know if you can see it. This is a book that has been published by HarperCollins on the strategic challenges of the country. And this book, I've written the emerging and disruptive technology. So for defense sector, that 42-page document here is available from Amazon. You can buy it in, I think, 400 rupees or something. It's going to be very, very useful to learn about the strategic sector, what kind of new technology is coming. I've also mentioned about broader issues of mindset and education that needs to be addressed. And I'm also re-emphasizing that over-emphasis on placements is not desirable. So I stop at this point and let me see if I have some questions that people may be wanting to ask. And thank you so much for listening to me presently.
Thank you, sir. The floor is open for the question answer session now. If anybody has any questions, please come forward. You may also share your question in the chat box. I think so. You have given so much food for thoughts that everybody is busy thinking what to start now.
Okay, Dr. Pawan.
Yeah, Dr. Pawan, please.
Sir, good afternoon. Sir, I heard that some innovation and incubation cell was being made as mandatory for most of the colleges, and the same MSME program is being collaborated with it. Can I get any kind of information relating to this innovation and incubation cell? along with these MSME programs?
So in the campus, actually, innovation incubation cell is being set up now. University is also involved with that. And but right now, I'm not aware of the plan with the MSME part. Maybe Dr. Bahubali or Chandresh is involved in that, so they can tell. They are working on the plan, then they'll come to me, so I will look at that. So I'm not aware of the MSME part, but this is being done. In the university itself, we had planned to set up incubation center, reserve about 2,000 square feet of a space. But suddenly we got global projects, so we started using those for that purpose. But in terms of, as I mentioned briefly, as a major global investor is coming to us with huge dedicated fund. The first time in the country engineering is being done, which will have two parts. It will be, one part will be commercializing technologies which have been developed outside, and a good amount of part will be for developing technology inside the university commercializing. So there's a huge amount of money that is coming in, and the discussion with them that I had, there's been no dearth of money is not going to be a problem. And in fact, when I was talking to the chairman of the company, he also was very interested in nuclear fusion. In fact, he was personally talking about particular cold fusion development that he's seen recently. So he's been keeping track of technology. He also talked about hydrogen development and so on. So there's that opportunity also coming in the university itself.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
There's a question coming from students, and sir, that if the students are interested in nuclear fusion research, how should they start with, and where should they understand this?
Yeah, so let me take this opportunity to talk about nuclear fusion project. My childhood dream, or you can say that something that when I was moving out of the country, you can read blog about that, how I got into nuclear fusion research. But what we were trying to do was something very interesting. Actually, we were trying to develop nuclear fusion technology to produce. So normally the reaction that takes place is similar to what happens in the sun. Our task is actually to create sun on Earth. And the temperature of the maximum temperature of the sun, the core of the sun is 1.5 crore degrees centigrade, 15 million degrees centigrade. Our task is to create 10 times that temperature. So to about, you can say 150 to 200 million degrees centigrade. I'm happy to tell you that in China already 180 million has been achieved. That means 12 times the temperature of the sun, 18 crores degree has been achieved already. In Korea, 10 crores. In UK, a private company has done 10 crores already. So we already achieved temperatures much higher than temperature of sun, which is required for this purpose. The reaction that takes place inside the sun is hydrogen and hydrogen reaction inside the sun. But the hydrogen reaction is a very slow process. But because the huge mass of sun, even a small, very small reaction is sufficient to provide energy to the whole solar system. We cannot do that on Earth because we do not have that kind of mass. So we use other reactions. One of the popular one is using hydrogen isotopes, deuterium and tritium. But there are other reactions also. I will not go into that, but namely there's one called proton-boron reaction. But I'm not going to that, which is aneutronic, that means there's no neutron production. But deuterium-tritium reaction that takes place, these temperatures of 150 to 200 million degrees centigrade actually produce neutrons. And neutrons carry energy, and the neutrons can be captured to extract energy out of that. The neutrons, we were planning to use the neutrons. So we wanted to use this as neutron factory, not as energy factory. That means I'll lose energy. I'll produce neutrons. Neutron I'm going to use for three purposes. We have three purposes in mind. One was India has the highest reserve of thorium in the world. India has the highest reserve of thorium in the world, which is about 25% world's reserve in India. So we can actually convert thorium into uranium-232 and supply it to the whole world. According to one of our collaborators from Texas, Austin, he said that if you can do it, it is like Saudi Arabia discovering oil. That's the kind of wealth we'll create for the country. Second application of this was to actually process the nuclear waste that comes out of all atomic power stations, which have a half-life of 200,000 years. These are being dumped all across the world into underground storages. Nobody knows what to do. So actually we can process that, reduce the half-life to 300 years only, and reduce the volume to 1% that. So this is again another major application. And third major application was to actually produce a particular medical isotope called technetium-99M, used for 80 to 85% of the world's requirement of medical isotopes. For this, its half-life is very short, about 6 hours only. We're working on this to produce this. According to estimate that we did, it was going to cost us $3 billion to set up this. But Khushbu's eyes went up, actually. You can earn $5 billion every year. So $3 billion, but earning $5 billion. Of course, none of these things are as simple as it sounds. Each of these impossible tasks. But that's where the courageous are there, to create impossible into possible. So this was the project. I cannot give more details here. We can maybe have another session sometime. And those are our students. I would also like to mention that I was involved with Chandrayaan 2. But the Chandrayaan 3 has gone up. We have moved from Earth orbit to now we're going to trans-lunar orbit. That means now we're between Earth and Moon. And on 5th August, it will be attempt will be made to insert into lunar orbit. So start orbiting lunar orbit. And then 23rd August around 5:30 p.m. it is planned to land that on the moon. And in the campus, we'll have a live relay of that landing thing. Last time, Chandrayaan 2 landing was in middle of, 2 o'clock at night or something like that. So we could not do it. We did the launch part live. This time we had the opportunity to see the landing also live altogether. So those of you on the campus are welcome to see that in Santa Auditorium. Thank you. See any other questions or comments?
Is there any other question? Any participant has any other question? Please come in. Okay. Yeah. So participants are thanking you, sir, and I would also like to thank you for sharing your profound and knowledge and expertise in the field of science, technology, entrepreneurship, and future requirements of the society, and your special ability to articulate complex things in a clean and concise manner made complete session very engaging for the audience, sir. I particularly appreciate the emphasis that you placed on the importance of resilience and perseverance in the face of these challenges. I am extremely thankful for accepting my request to deliver this session, sir. Extremely delighted by your presence and extremely thankful for all the knowledge that you shared with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. To our audience, I would like to share that tomorrow, thank you for, first of all, for joining today. And tomorrow we are having 2 more sessions by very experts in their fields. The first session will be delivered by Ms. Smriti Shelke, who is a manager of student affairs in digital marketing in DYPIU, and she would be talking about digital marketing fundas to market your business. Many times we are seeing this, that we are developing our projects, we are developing our businesses, and then we are unaware of how to market our business. So Smriti ma'am is going to shed light on this topic. And followed by this is Dr. Anjali Gupta, who is going to share her insights onto the IPR protection that would give your business a foolproof protection. Theft-proof business can, how can a theft-proof business be delivered? That would be shared by Dr. Anjali Gupta. So I would request you all to join tomorrow also for this session. And thank you everyone for joining in today. That's it for today. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.